Hello and welcome to Wisdom Hour on the 8th of May, and it's a bit of a damp one here today, but let's see if we can get in and get some information for, I'm sure not only one person, but I'm sure this is a question that a lot of people out there have. It says, will my life ever settle down? It seems to be one challenge after the other. I'm tired and I don't know if I can cope with any more. Okay, and I muscle tested a goal for this, and it said to stay centered in my life and know it is all under control. Well, now obviously she doesn't feel like everything's under control, right? But, that's something that maybe this is about our perspective on, where does control come from or something like that. I don't know. Let's see, shall we? It's an interesting one. I'm sure a lot of people feel overwhelmed with things going on in their life. So give me a yes, give me a no, happy to come in. And we want to work with language, with a statement, with a question. How do you feel about an afterlife? Let's go just straight to the chase. How do you feel about an afterlife? Do you think that you are here and then when you die you are gone and that is it and it's all over? Or do you think that this is only one very small chapter of an amazing journey through space and time? You are not able to control everything in this lifetime because you are given a body and a material world which is made up of duality. This means that everything is held between a concept of good and bad, right and wrong, black and white, up and down, backwards and forwards, and so on. Without this paradigm, material life would cease to exist, and so when you are in this manifestation as a body on earth at this time, you are given many opportunities to expand God. You're given many opportunities to expand God. What, me? Oh. Kate likes to call this the general operating device, and it is a good description because when you think that everything is out of control, everything is very much in control, but you don't see the big picture. You don't see all of the planets in perfect order spinning around suns and stars, and your galaxy expanding as it should, and everything that is of order must come out of chaos because, as we said earlier, this is the only way that material generation can happen. When you feel like everything is out of control and there seems to be one challenge after the other, you are getting perspective from a place which is like a little child who doesn't know what is good for him or her. Just like the little child who is required to go to bed or to eat good food, the little child protests and says, "This is not fair. I don't want this. This is horrible. I want to stay up all night and I want to only eat ice cream." But the adult who has a bigger perspective because of their experience and their longevity in this form know that this is not a good idea and will not lead to anything good for the child. And so it is with us and you as adults. You are not privy to the bigger plan and why you are being sent these challenges, or why you get so upset about them. Often, the causes of your upset are not so much in the now and what is happening now, although that is what you blame your feelings on and think it's because this is happening and that is happening and all of these things are going on and I have no control. And it feels chaotic to me. And so I feel bad, or stressed, or anxious, or depressed. But your general operating device is in control, and all of these challenges are designed to help you evolve and to expand the universe. Expanding yourself as a God particle is also expanding the universe. And this is as it should be. Without challenges, there is no expansion. Without learning, everything stands still. Without growth, there is only decay. And like in the natural world, if you are not being challenged and growing, you are in fact dying. So be grateful for your challenges and get clear that they are there for a very good reason, to help you evolve. Earlier we mentioned that many of the feelings and upset that come with adult life are in fact not about the outward circumstances which you blame these feelings on. They are, in fact, about previous experiences which didn't get processed or left you less than whole when you were a child or in the womb or prior to your birth here. These experiences were generally upsetting for the child or the baby in the womb, but they had no help from their parent or anyone who knew better, or they did not have the wonderful support of being introduced to their higher self, or any form of support through knowing their wonderful place as a spirit incarnate. Because for a little child, of course, they can't really grasp those concepts yet. And so everything they experience is only about from their perspective, and is always about them, no matter what is happening. Do you notice the similarity as we go into adulthood and see all of these things happening? And once again, we are only seeing it from a very limited perspective. And it seems to be all about us, but it's not actually. When others are going through their own challenges, you can either let them experience their own feelings and offer support in terms of placing them in your great loving prayers or meditations and holding them in your mind as learning from this experience and coming out much stronger and expanded. Or you can offer a gentle shoulder to cry on, or any support which allows them to express their own feelings. Unfortunately, many of you don't do this, and instead you worry and fret about the person and indeed take on their own feelings as yours, just like the little toddler does. And when you do this, you don't help the other person and you don't help yourself. You don't help the other person because their journey is theirs and they need to experience these feelings and go through the lesson they have been given. And just like you don't help a child who is capable of tying their own shoelaces by tying them for them, you don't help an adult by carrying their feelings for them. So get very clear about this, because it is a great misunderstanding that many adults have. They feel like they must feel all of the feelings that the other person is going through, and in doing this they are supporting them. But the opposite is true. Instead, stay centered in your own life and get clear that the more grounded and stable and unaffected you are by their drama, the more you can help them. Anything else? When you get overwhelmed by events that are going on in your life and in the world at large, you practically cut yourself off from your great higher spirit that can see the bigger picture and that won't what is it? And that won't woo you. Okay, woo you is like the child woo is the child woo is either woohoo, that kind of woo, or it's woo, as in scared, I'm frightened, I don't know where I'm lost, that kind of thing. Okay, so, and your higher spirit won't woo you, okay, won't frighten you or make you feel generally unsupported by condemning you or making you feel like a bad person. If you are seeking some sort of spiritual support and it is making you feel like this, you are on the wrong track, because life doesn't judge. This is a man-made construct which helps us to get our diametrically opposed opposites in place so that we can in fact experience a material world. But understand that there is a sliding scale there. It doesn't have to be black or white, up or down, in or out, good or bad. In fact, when you see something in hindsight, you will recognize that even though it felt terrible, there were good things to it. And even though something felt amazing at a certain time in your life, if you look clearly at it, it also may have had a downside. So this understanding helps us to get clear that life will always be in a state of challenge and flux, and when we accept that and don't try and control that, but instead bring out our gracious and grateful self when we are given a challenging task in our life, or we are privy to someone else's challenge, we know deeply that the spinning of our planets and every living thing is under control, and we don't need to worry so much. As you would do for a little child of 5 years old, you need to self-soothe And this means you become your own parent and talk to that part of yourself who doesn't understand things from that bigger perspective that you have gained, hopefully today or during your life. From this standpoint, you can bring your inner child to a place of safety where he or she knows that the bigger part of herself, or if you like, the parent part of you, or God, if you like, does have things under control, and so she can relax knowing that, yes, my auntie is unwell and she isn't having a lovely time at the moment, but I know that she is being well cared for, and so I can still play and imagine her feeling well again, either in this lifetime or the next. When we get personal energy mixed up with others' energy, it becomes very confusing, and this is part of your developmental development. It is to learn that they are not you, and you are not them. But at the same time, each of you shares an everlasting energy of love, which gets everything to grow and die, because without growth and death, we could not evolve. This sounds sad to many of you, but once you take the judgment out of this and accept that this is the natural order of things and that no soul ever dies, and that the energy of each individual soul is also part of a huge planetary energy that it belongs to. We are talking about ends of the spectrum here, and you may find this a little confusing, but go back over this and get an understanding that we are not this or that. Alone. We are this or that, while we are also this and that. In the spiritual realm, this becomes very obvious, but in the material world, it takes a while to get the idea. We get to choose how much we want to separate our energy from others or allow it to combine. And this is called free will, and no one will take it away from you. It allows you to give your energy to great causes, and it allows you to withdraw your energy to protect yourself when you are in danger. And it allows you to practice astral travel from your body at night. But we don't recommend this to people who are already puzzled by these concepts, because you may leave your body to join the great energy of the universe and so on, but then not know how to get back into your body. And this is a very scary feeling. So don't meddle with things that you don't understand well in the energetic realm, because when people do that, they often become unbalanced and unable to see things clearly. Instead, work on knowing that your energy is your own to a certain extent, and so you have the choice to condense it into yourself and not be affected by others' energy as much, or to allow it to flow freely between you as is the great love between people expressed. This is a great expansive flowing energy that gets each person to feel supported and places them in a loving energy which can only do good. You can offer this support to them at any time, but a good time to do this is just before you sleep, so that this intention keeps running through the night and you feel like you are doing what you can, because we know that this person wants to help, but at the same time is getting exhausted by trying to help in the wrong way. Anything else? Anything else? A question, a statement, an I statement, a you statement. You are able to see everything that is going on in your life from a higher perspective and know that it is all under control. Even if from the young child's point of view, it is not. From this place of truth, you will start to feel stabilized and supported and know what to do to help others who are suffering. But it takes practice to manage your energy and to give what is needed instead of what you think is needed. Okay. I hope that helps to give you some ideas maybe of how you can manage all this stuff that seems to be happening. What did it say again? Will my life ever settle down? Seems to be one challenge after the other, and I'm tired and I don't know if I can cope with any more. Okay. So I just hope that helps you with maybe a new perspective. And yes, and anybody who wants to can send lots of love, because we know that's the great flowing force, which can't do any harm and certainly can help. Okay, guys, so that's us for today. Thank you for watching, and take care of yourself. Bye.